Hi, we are back with our Cooking For series. I'm Mindy Turner with the Curry County Cooperative Extension Service, your family and consumer science agent. Last time we talked a little bit about cooking for one or two, and having you make a plan and being ready for that. This time we're going to talk about cooking for a group, whether it's a holiday occasion or a potluck or just one of those big community meals that you're a part of, and you got to put all that stuff together. Sometimes there can be a lot of thought that has to go into it, and I know sometimes I'm like, oh sure, I know what I'm going to do, and I get to the store and then I'm trying to count in my head, oh well, how much do I need, and how big a bag of chips, and well, if I have this many people. So here's some tips and some things that you can think about if you're going to have to feed a group. Caterers, people who run restaurants, they think about these things all of the time as to how much has to go into feeding a group of a certain size. So we can give you the basics on what you need to plan to feed that group. So talking about appetizers, we're talking 2 to 4 ounces of an appetizer. Now, if all you're serving are appetizers, obviously they're going to eat a little more of those. But if you're having an appetizer followed by the actual meal, you don't want to fill everybody up on appetizers, and you want to have an appropriate amount. So 2 to 4 ounces, 5 to 6 bites, depending on what type of appetizers you're serving, whatever that comes out to be, is what you're going to want to think about for your appetizers. So then when we talk about the protein, the meat, whatever that main kind of dish is going to be, 6 to 8 ounces. So roughly a pound per person is what we're going to think about. If you're serving something with the bone in it, a bone-in roast or something, even chicken with the bone, you're going to want to then figure 1.5 pounds per person on the whatever piece of meat you're cooking before it's cooked, because you're going to lose some weight obviously once you take that bone out. So that's going to help you, when you get to the other side of that, have about that 6 to 8 ounces left per person once it's cooked. So your side dishes, same thing. You want to think about 8 ounces. That's about a cup, or 3/4 of a cup of each side. If you're things like corn or mashed potatoes, stuffing at Thanksgiving, that's the kind of place you want to start in planning those as far as how many sides you need. Obviously, if you're going to have more sides, you may need less. And it takes a lot too. Even when you're feeding your family, it's good because you usually know, hey, these are the things they really like, I'm going to need more of. So if I'm feeding my family, just even my family of 4 at home, my boys love mashed potatoes. I'm going to need 4 times as many mashed potatoes as anything else, because that's something they're going to eat a lot of, and I need to have that plan in place. But so making sure you have enough of those sides on hand for whatever it is that you're wanting to serve. So then we have to think about, well, what if I have sauces? What if I have gravy or barbecue sauce or something else to go along with that? So when we talk about those things, think about 1/3 of a cup. If it's cranberry sauce, gravy, about 1/3 of a cup per person is what you're going to want to have. So that's going to help you adjust. Now again, you may also know, hey, half my family doesn't eat gravy. Then don't figure them in, because we don't want to have way too much food left over, and we don't want to run short when we're feeding a group or making a plan. And then how about desserts? Well, ideally, from a nutrition standpoint, we don't want anybody to sit down and eat an entire cake. We know holidays and things happen, and we want to try a little bit of every kind of dessert that's out there. But as a general rule, 1 slice, 1 piece, 1 cupcake per person is what you're going to want to figure. And it's going to come out because you may have somebody who eats 2 cupcakes, but this person over here doesn't like cupcakes and they're not going to take one. So you're going to balance those things out eventually. But if you're doing things like pudding or mousse or ice cream, you give a little more for ice cream, a little less for pudding and mousse. So about 1/2 cup, about those 4 ounces of that, but you may want to do closer to 5 ounces, 2/3 a cup for your ice cream to have that made and have plenty. Drinks, when we're planning on drinks, research shows, and again, this is information from caterers, bartenders, people that are out there doing this on a regular basis, putting on events. Within the first hour of an event, most people will have 2 drinks, whether that's alcoholic or non-alcoholic drinks. You may just be serving tea and punch, and that's okay. Most people within that first hour time frame will have about 2 drinks, and then figure a drink for every hour after that. So for each person, if your event's going to be 3 hours, figure an average of 4 drinks. And that's gonna help you plan and prepare for what that looks like, and having the size of cups and what it is that you need to have for that serving, kind of gonna be up to you if you're using little bitty punch cups or regular size plastic cups to serve tea, all of that. And then of course having plenty of ice, whether that's keeping your cold food cold or you're putting it in those drinks, will make a difference as well. So having that plan, putting those things in place, kind of having your list, an idea how many guests, how many people, what we're preparing, because that's helpful too. I know sometimes we go to the store and we want to see what's on sale, what they have a lot of, what we can pick up, and then we do end up doing a lot of that planning in our mind, and that's okay, because those are things that we're gonna need to think about. But so you're gonna want to consider also the time of day. People eat more at dinner time than if you're having something mid-morning or mid-afternoon. So thinking and balancing out what that meal needs to look like, what type of things you're gonna serve, and how much of each of those items you need. And think about food safety. It's important to consider what things can sit out, what things have to be put away. If something has been at room temperature for 2 hours, throw it away. When you are done with your event and you look at what's left on that buffet table, what everyone's had out and eating, if it's been out that long, we know it's not safe because of the bacterial growth. So we're gonna recommend that you get rid of those items. Again, keeping things on ice, keeping things on warmers, if those are options, is a great way to keep things at the appropriate temperature so that you can save it for later if you do have a lot of leftovers. And you can ensure that at the time people are there and consuming that, it's safe for everyone. So those are some things to think about. The recipe that I've picked out for you today, something kind of fun, a little bit different, are lasagna rolls. I chose this one. It's a little different than your just traditional lasagna, a layered lasagna that you might make. It's a little fancier, I guess, and it might take just a little bit more time depending on how and if you make lasagna at all. But it also gives you that idea for a party, for a group, instead of having lasagna where people can't figure out, oh, well, how big is a serving and how much should I take? Or even when you cut it for them, sometimes they take a piece and a half or they take a bigger thing. And so by having it in the rolls, it gives you that idea, okay, we've kind of figured 2 rolls per person and we've got a pretty good count of what that looks like. So this recipe actually says it serves 8, which would be about the 2 rolls per person, but you could obviously double it very simply to make more if you're gonna have a larger group. You could also purchase, I recommend getting the bigger pans that you can buy, just even foil pans that you can dispose of after the fact. I do have a deeper crockery pan today to put these in. If I wanted to use a shallower pan, I could cut the rolls, and I'm gonna show you here how to do that and what that would look like. So what we have, this is just the sauce that already has the meat in it. If you need to make this vegetarian, if you need to make it lower sugar, you can get a sugar-free sauce. You can get a sauce with no meat in it, just the vegetables. You can add vegetables. You can add whatever meat you like. If you want to put Italian sausage in them, you can definitely do any of that. So you can, again, tailor this to what you want to fit you and your crowds, because you know what your group's gonna eat. Okay, so these are just standard lasagna noodles. Okay, they come about 16 in a box. So the recipe calls for 2. Today I've only made 1, so we're not gonna make the whole full recipe because I don't have 16 people to feed. But so just ricotta cheese, 15 ounces. We're gonna use about a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. I went ahead and bought what was already grated and ready to go. Some Italian seasoning and some garlic powder. Okay, and then this is just that part skim mozzarella, again, that we're gonna add to that. So you wanna boil your noodles. You wanna get them cooked al dente so that they're not soft, but you wanna make sure they're not crunchy either, because we want them to be noodly. That's the pasta part of it. So then we have our ricotta with our Parmesan, our Italian seasonings, and the garlic powder in here mixed up. You can also use some salt and pepper, season it to taste if that's something else that you want to add. Right now, I don't have the salt and pepper in here. It's just the Italian seasonings and the garlic. So once you have boiled your noodles, you're gonna take them and lay them out. Now you can get fancy and use tongs and try to do different things. I ended up to make the rolls just using my hands. So make sure you have something around to be able to wipe your fingers off as you go. I'm gonna go ahead and get us a paper towel right now so that as I start moving things around, we can do that. So you're gonna take your cheese mixture, the ricotta mixture, and you're just gonna spread that out on your noodles. However fat or thin you wanna do it. Again, kind of gonna vary depending on how much you like the cheese mixture in your lasagna. So we're gonna lay those out on a flat surface. If you do wanna use fresh pasta sheets, go ahead and put it on a cutting board so that you can roll it up and then you can slice it. For what I'm doing today with the full noodles, we're not gonna cut them. We're just gonna use them like they are. So we've got that spread out, and then we're gonna just take our mozzarella and we're gonna sprinkle that all down our rolls. So we've got our noodles with our cheese filling, and then we've got our mozzarella that we've put on top. Now you can, again, skip this step by putting your mozzarella into your ricotta mixture and just mixing that together, okay? Which is typically how, if I make standard lasagna, what I do. I also, y'all know I'm lazy, whatever little shortcut I like, either the oven ready lasagna or following the recipe, you add a little more water to the sauce and you don't actually boil the noodles before you bake it, and the noodles actually cook while it's baking. So boiling lasagna noodles, just FYI, it's not hard, but it's kind of hard to get them all out pretty and perfect. They do tear, they stick a little, all that good stuff. But so then we're just gonna take each noodle with our filling and we're gonna roll it up to make a lasagna roll, okay? It's just that simple. This one is losing a piece, so I'm gonna just go ahead and pull that off. The pan, I've just put a layer of our sauce on the bottom, and then we're just gonna stand our rolls in it. And you can see I already have a few done that I've got standing up in there. Now, again, if you don't have a pan that's tall enough to do this, you can cut these in half and make a shallower layer, or you can lay them over just like rolled enchiladas and just put your rolls down sideways. It's not gonna matter ultimately because it's all gonna come together. So we're just gonna keep rolling and putting them in the pan. And again, depending on the size of your pan, how many rolls you're making, will make a difference on how tight you need to squeeze it in there. It's not gonna be a huge deal because they are each their own individual roll, and that's how they're gonna cook. Okay, I'm gonna roll one more. Again, just to kind of show and pop that in there. So I got about half my pan full right now. So then from there, we're just gonna take our sauce and we're gonna pour it over the top. Okay, so this is kind of the part, I know everybody's going, well, how's a lasagna roll if it doesn't have any sauce? Well, there's your sauce. And we're gonna pour it over the top amply. We're gonna shake it down in there, make sure that it's all the way through how we want this to cook deep down in there. We're gonna take the rest of our mozzarella, okay, that we've set aside, and sprinkle it on the top. So now when we put this in the oven to cook, it's all gonna cook together, get all cheesy, and then we get ready to serve it with tongs or a spatula, however you choose to do that. You can grab your roll out of there, put it on your plate, and you are good to go. Again, you can personalize it, fix it however you want. You can double the recipe, you can half the recipe very easily to make a smaller portion if that's what you want. These would freeze great before or after cooking, either way. So it would be something that you could very easily put away to keep for later or make ahead to have. So once you've got this done, you're gonna put the top on it and we're gonna put it in an oven that's heated to 375. It's gonna need to cook probably 25 minutes or so to start it getting all good and gone. And then take the top off and give it that last 3 to 5 minutes in there just to kind of crisp up that cheese. If you'd rather the cheese be more gooey, that's okay. You don't have to do that. But just to give it that kind of golden lasagna look to the top, that's what you would want to do. So when you're cooking for a group, we've given you some things to consider. Think about the planning. How much food do you need? Try something new, maybe a little bit fancier so that you can share that with your friends and your family. I'm Mindy Turner with the Curry County Cooperative Extension Service. This has been part 2 of our Cooking for series.